but it's still a good day. Kevin Green joins us to take a look at the levels to watch here. Okay, so now that we've had a bit of a two-way trade over the last 24 hours, KG, have we gotten some clear levels defined here in the market?
Not yet. And that's the interesting part about this, Oliver. I mean, yesterday we kind of talked about the volume being pretty light when you're looking at the S&P options. Now today we're doing about two times what we saw yesterday, which is actually pretty good. That's a good sign to say the least. But a lot of that is coming from speculative call flows. And in fact, we saw a massive spike in call flows happening at around 2 o'clock Eastern time. And that's where we actually saw that run up past that 5,300 level, hitting around 5,312. And then we just saw a huge drop. And it does appear that was the fact that a lot of individuals were selling out of those calls. And then also we had some commentary coming out of Goldman Sachs as well as PIMCO looking at their rate cut outlook for the remainder of the year. What I would say, though, if you're looking at the open interest, it's going to tell a different story than volume. And tomorrow is going to be the very big key. And here's the reason why. We see obviously a huge and massive amount of buildup there at the 5,300 level. Now, for open interest, 5,300 is still a negative gamma level. And why is that? It's because of the puts that are still existing there. Remember, we saw buyers going out in time, going out in duration, and those buyers were buying the put contracts in order to hedge themselves for downside risk. We have not seen that actually being reduced at a significant clip. And even today, a lot of the put flows, if you will, look like they're rolling up. And rolling up, keeping the same time, but rolling up. So we have a negative gamma situation right now at 5,300. But on the chart, obviously, you saw a nice little push to the upside, going above 5,300, hitting 5,312. 53.13, and then we saw a little bit of a sell-off here. So what I would say, positive gamma 55.50, it continues to stay in place, nice widening out so we can actually make some moves to the upside. Negative gamma 5,300, as I talked about, and then you want to keep your eye out on 5,200 as well. That will show up as a negative gamma level if we do break some of these gains that we've had today. And so I always want to just kind of keep people's eyes on that in the event that we actually do see a reversal. So open interest, once again, is really trying to shake itself out, and now we're kind of seeing the impact of all of this hedging that we've had to the downside here, and how the skew is really kind of resulting and trying to rebalance these positions over the next couple of trading sessions if we can remain in this pseudo bull trend.
Okay. So we just got to plug away a little bit further here, it seems like, to kind of turn potential resistance into support, and then maybe we start to open up some pretty big areas on the chart because, after that 5,300, I mean, you can start moving pretty quickly. It's like a 100-point range there, it seems like, is the next kind of open field.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sorry, I misspoke. 5,300 is going to be the volume positive dealer pressure for today. Negative is going to be on the open interest. So that's why I said there's a lot that's really penning at the 5,300 level right now. And honestly, it would not surprise me if you actually see some pen action at that 5,300. I know that we did slide to the downside here, but the fact that we have those puts that are still outstanding, as well as those call buying activity that we had earlier in the session, there could be some pen risk that is there. But you're right. I mean, at the end of the day, we just have to continue to kind of break these levels, move these levels to the upside here. And you kind of want to start seeing the put call flow actually getting wider and wider, meaning that the put call ratio, you want to see it at a 2 or 2.25, because that would also then signify, if we have a green day, that a lot of those puts are now being sold out of this market, and we can kind of clear some of those flows out and hopefully get more lopsided on the call side here over the next couple of trading sessions.
It kind of seems like, I don't want to spoil the party here today, but it kind of seems like today was like an absolute must rally, high potential for a rally. Like, the move yesterday was basically selling puts. Like, unless you literally think that the world is ending, when VIX hits 60, it's like, all right, I gotta collect some premium here. Why would I not take advantage of this? So that kind of naturally, it seems like in the short term, should be supportive, unless something hits us hard. The question, I guess, is how long can that carry us for, that kind of natural recovery of vol back to a normal level?
Well, what we're going to have to do is really kind of break up to that 5350, 5400 level. That's when you're going to get to a pretty much neutral gamma when it comes to open interest. And that's going to be a good sign. And that's where we can have a little bit more compression when it comes to these markets, and dealers for the most part will be net positive. And so that's ultimately bullish. And that's usually what we see on a traditional market. Right now, we're still in negative gamma territory. So keep that in mind. I just want to highlight yesterday, not a lot of flows at all. So it really wasn't any put buyers getting in the market. No one wanted to buy calls in the market. It was actually probably one of the lowest days that I've seen. I've actually seen half days that have had more option volume than what we saw yesterday. So that's just something to keep in mind. Today, the action has been all call side buying throughout the day. It hasn't really been this short cover or this covering of long put activity yet. Now that may happen during the close. That might be the thing that creates a rally, but we haven't seen this huge unwind of those downside protective puts right now.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So the dust is still very much settling, it seems like here, and folks trying to kind of catch their bearings still. Thanks for the update, KG.